filing income tax returns is almost closed, and with it comes the start of assessments and notices. Although most taxpayers wish to avoid these orders and notices, but assessing officers are ready to scrutinize the incomes and claim filed by them. If you are unfamiliar with what a notice is and its importance, then stay with me. Hello everyone, I am Saloni from Webtel. I will cover all the aspects of notices and assessments issued by the assessing officer. Additionally, I will discuss how to identify fake notices and how to respond to them. So stay tuned, and before starting this video, I request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel Webtel Electrosoft to get regular compliance updates. For better understanding, let me take you to my screen.
Notices under income tax. How do we reply and deal with fake notices? But firstly, we need to understand what is an income tax notice. An income tax notice is typically sent by the income tax department when it identifies an issue with the taxpayer's tax return or calculation of the taxes. The notice is usually communicated through registered mail or SMS on the registered mobile number, and the taxpayer can check the details of the notice by logging into the income tax portal. Let's look how you will be receiving a notice from the income tax department in case of any notice or any order from the assessing officer. The name of the assessee, PAN number, assessment year, acknowledgement number, as well as the DIN number will be reflecting. DIN number here stands for Document Identification Number. It is a number which will be provided by the income tax department through which you will be able to check whether you are receiving a notice from the income tax department or from any fraud. And the criteria will be reflecting from the income tax department for your security purpose as well, like do not provide any username, password, ATM or credit details to any other person. And after that you will be having the notice attached with the email ID. So you need to click on download, and then your notice will be downloaded in the PDF format. And then you need to open the file, but while opening your PDF file you need to enter a password, and the password of your PDF would be your PAN number along with your date of birth. So you need to enter the PAN number, and after that you need to enter the date of birth in the password, and then you need to click on OK button, and after that you will be able to open your intimation mail from the income tax department. So this is the notice which you will be receiving in case if you are having any notice from the income tax department. And this notice will be present in the Hindi as well as in English language, and this will be containing all the details related to your salary, related to your income details. Here the name, address detail, PAN number, assessment year, acknowledgement number, DIN number will be reflecting, and like the assessee is having a refund, the amount of refund is also reflecting over here, and the ITR form type, date of filing, intimation order date is also reflecting in this notice, and the computation or the return detail will also be reflecting over here. On the left side the data which has been provided by the taxpayer will be reflecting, and on the right side the data which has been computed by the assessing officer will be reflecting as per the notice. And if any mismatch is there, then the amount will be reflecting related to the mismatch details, and also the computation will be reflecting along with the heads of the income, special income, deduction detail will be reflecting in the notice. So this is all about the notice which you will be receiving from the income tax department. Then comes what is the purpose of an income tax notice. Basically, an income tax notice may be issued for the following reasons, like for the non filing of ITRs, errors or discrepancies in the ITR file, TDS mismatched, ITRs get ITR get scrutiny by assessing officer, specific documents required by the assessing officer. Also, it can be in case audit as per the section 143(1) of the Income Tax Act. So let's understand about the issues one by one. First one is non-filing of ITRs. Non-filing of ITR means under the non-filers monitoring system, or we can say that NMS, the Income Tax Department captures data related to the financial transactions of the taxpayers. This information is obtained through AIR. AIR means Annual Information Return, or CIB, which is Central Information Branch data, or TDS or TCS returns. Based on this data, the ITD identifies non-filers of the ITR who may have a potential tax liability and issues notices to them. Then comes errors or discrepancies in the ITR file. When a taxpayer's filed return contains discrepancies or issues, it is referred to as a defective income tax return, and this notice is issued by the department when they identify inconsistencies, inaccuracies, or incompleteness in the information provided by the assessee. Then comes TDS mismatch. If TDS is claimed but the corresponding income is not offered for the tax in the ITR, or if there is a mismatch in the TDS between 26 AS or AIS and TDS claimed by the assessee. It may also lead to discrepancies and can cause issues during tax assessments. It's important to ensure that TDS claimed matches the actual income offered for the tax. Then comes ITR get scrutiny by assessing officer. Once a taxpayer has filed their income tax return, the Income Tax Department begins reviewing and assessing the document. The department carefully examines the return to ensure its accuracy and authenticity. If any discrepancies are found, the department may request additional information by sending out various notices. Failure to provide the requested information may result in further assessment procedures. This process is known as a scrutiny assessment, and it is initiated when the department issues a notice to scrutinize. In continuation of the assessment process, AO can ask for the specific documents if required, audit as per the section 143(1) of the Income Tax Act. So these are the reasons for which you will be having a notice, or you will be receiving a notice from the Income Tax Department. Now let's understand what are the common causes of notice. The most common causes for which you might receive an income tax notice include the following, like lack of submission of all the documents. When you invest in the name of your spouse and do not mention the same in your income tax returns. If high value transactions have been done during the financial year and they have not been properly reported in the income tax return. When long-term capital gains earned from equity investments are not reported correctly. If the taxpayer does not disclose any income. If a wrong income tax form is used for filing the income tax return. If your refunds can be set off against the previous year's tax liability. If you have evaded tax in previous financial years. Or if the self-assessment tax still needs to be paid, and many more. These are the common causes of receiving a notice from the Income Tax Department. Then comes, how do I check my tax notice? As mentioned earlier in the video, any notice issued by the Income Tax Department will be sent to your registered email. Further, we can check the notices and other intimations in our income tax portal. Here, I will show you how we can check. Fake notices. Notice or order issued by Income Tax Department. It can be a PAN-based verification or DIN-based verification. As validity and authentication of income tax notice is more important before taking any reply or communication with the department, because taxpayers should remain vigilant as fraudsters are becoming increasingly sophisticated in their attempts to deceive them. These criminals create fake income tax notices that look almost identical to genuine ones, often using official logos and authentic sounding languages. It's important to be aware that there are deceptive notices floating around, which are often sent through email, text messages, or other digital platforms. These notices can be used to trace bank account details and payment information, which can be a serious problem. To combat this issue, the Income Tax Department has introduced a new system called the Document Identification Number, or we can say DIN, which is generated by the computers and can be used to verify any communication from the IT department. Additionally, PAN-based verification can also be used to help ensure the authenticity of any messages received. Here, I will show you how we authenticate our notice from IT department. And for checking the authenticity of the notices or orders issued by the Income Tax Department, government has provided some links. So to check the details, you need to go to the quick links option, then you need to click on authenticate notice order issued by ITT, and after clicking on that, this screen will appear. Here you can search and authenticate your notice or order by using PAN, document type, assessment year. Also, you can use the document identification number, which will be provided on the intimation mail received by you. And then here you need to enter the DIN number, or you can say document identification number. And after that, you need to enter the registered mobile number as well. Document identification number plays an important role because it will authenticate whether you are receiving a original order from the government or not. And after providing your mobile number, you will be receiving a OTP from the Income Tax Department, and here you need to enter the OTP, and after that you will be able to click on continue button. And after clicking on continue button, the order details will be reflecting, and here in the order, notice number, issue date, assessment year will be reflecting over here. So this is the process to authenticate notice or orders issued by the Income Tax Department. Now let's look at the process how we can take action against the fake notices. If you have received any email or find a website you think is pretending to be the Income Tax Department, forward the email or the website URL to webmanager@incometax.gov.in. A copy may also be forwarded to the incident@searchin.org.in, and you may forward the message as received or provide the internet header of the email. The internet header has additional information to help us locate the sender. After you provide the email or header information to us, delete the message. Now let's understand the type of the notices as per the Income Tax Department. Notice under section 139(1), which will be related to the defective return. Notice under section 142(1), which will be related to inquiry before assessment. Then comes notice under section 143(2), which will be related to a scrutiny notice. Notice under section 143(1), this would be a letter of intimation. Then notice under section 148 income escaping assessment. Notice under section 156 will be sent related to the notice of the demand, and the notice as per the section 245 can also be sent related to the set off of refunds against tax remaining payables. So these are the notices which will be issued by the income tax department related to the different criteria. Let's understand about each and every notice one by one. So our first notice is related to the defective return as per the section 139(9). A defective return or a notice related to the defective return might be sent by the income tax department in a case the assessing officer or the assessing officer grants you 15 days grace period to correct the ITR under section 139(9). And defective return can be related to the incomplete ITR, missing tax information, mismatch in the information, presumptive taxation scheme, maintaining books of accounts, TDS claimed but income not mentioned, related to income tax audit, cost audit requirements, mismatch in the name. So these are the reasons in which you will be receiving a notice as per the section 139(9), or your return will be treated as an defective return. Then comes the notice under section 142(1). So a notice under section 142(1) can be given by the income tax authorities for further clarification on the ITR filed or ask for the further details on the ITR under section 142(1). You might also receive a notice under this section if you do not file the ITR by the due date. Then comes the notice under section 143(1), which will be related to the incorrect claim is made or if any errors are there in the tax calculation. An intimation under section 143(1) is sent to the assessee when an incorrect claim is made or any other error in tax calculation is made. The intimation consists of a summary of the details of the ITR submitted by the assessee. Then comes the notice under section 143(2), or it can be section 143(3), which is related to the selected for scrutiny or detailed checking. Notice under section 143(2) is issued when the assessee's ITR has been selected for the scrutiny or detailed checking. The IT department sends a notice to the assessee stating that their books will be checked to determine the correctness of the claims made, and the scrutiny is conducted under section 143(3). Then the notice under section 148. If the assessing officer has strong evidence that you have not reported or underreported any income that is chargeable to the tax or tries to evade the taxes, you might receive an income tax notice under section 148. Then comes the notice under section 156, which will be related to the payment of any interest, tax or penalty due. The income tax department might send you a notice under section 156 asking you to make the payment of any interest, tax or penalty due. Generally, the assessee is allowed a window of 30 days to pay the amount asked. Then comes the notice under section 245, which is related to pending tax liability from the previous years. Suppose there is any pending tax liability from the previous year. In that case, the income tax department can send you a notice and offset the prior liabilities from the current year's income tax refund. Then comes the notice under section 131. The income tax officer can summon the assessee in person under section 131 by sending him a notice. If the assessing officer has a strong reason or proof to suspect the evasion of the taxes or unreported incomes. He or she can send a notice to the assessees asking them to be present in person. Now let's understand how to respond to each notice type. Generally, the income tax department issues notice online nowadays. You will find the notice online within your income tax login, the same place where you filed your ITR. You can access the content and even file the response in the place provided. Here is a step-by-step guide to log in and respond to a notice. Log in on the income tax portal by entering the user ID as your PAN number and password. Then you need to click on continue button and then you will be able to log in on the income tax portal. And after logging on income tax portal, you need to go to the pending actions and then you need to click on work list. Under the work list, you will be able to see the tasks which are pending on which you need to take an action. The information related to the pending task will be reflecting over here. Then you need to go to the pending actions response to outstanding demand. In the response to outstanding demand option, the data related to the outstanding demand will be reflecting. Here the amount, section code and the rectification rights of the assessee will be reflecting. In case if you want to make the payment, then you can click on pay now. Also to download the computation sheet, you can click on download button. And also in case if you want to resubmit the response, then you can resubmit the response as well. And this whole process will be done within the assessee and the assessing officer. Then comes the e-proceeding option. Basically in the e-proceeding options, the proceeding name, assessment year will be reflecting and the PAN number, name of the assessee will also be reflecting along with the notice section in which the notice has been received from the income tax department. And to view the notice, you need to select the proceeding name or you need to select the relevant assessment year, and after that you need to click on view notices. And after clicking on view notices, you will be able to view or you will be able to download the notice which has been sent by the assessing officer to you. So here you can submit the response online as well as you can download the letter by clicking on download option, through which you will be able to check out the details related to your notice. And after clicking on download, your notice will be downloaded. So this is the letter which will be issued by the assessing officer to any assessee if they are having any notice or if they are having any order from the income tax department. So all these details will be reflecting in this letter.
I hope you have understood that notices and assessments can arise at any time. So it is advisable to compare all auto-populated databases maintained by Income Tax Department such as 26AS, AIS and TIS before filing your ITR. Additionally, it is important to review your major financial transactions and disclose any taxable income in your ITR to avoid heavy penalties and scrutiny. Share this video with your all known taxpayers. For better understanding, I am sharing the blog link in the description box. If you found this video helpful, then visit the link mentioned in the description below and let us know in the comment section if you have any doubts. Give a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Next Tuesday, we will be coming up with another interesting video to make compliances better for you. Till then, stay safe and stay tuned with us for a better compliance journey.